We don't have to provide a platform for you. This is the statement that often gets bandied about whenever people bring up any kind of censorship on Reddit, Steam, YouTube, or any other major social network or media handler. And you know what? They're absolutely right. These sites have no responsibility to provide anyone a platform to speak whatever they want. And I don't agree at all with forcing them to do so either. So what's the problem then? Why is this video getting made? Well, the problems begin to arise when you stop telling others this site or that isn't the platform for you, and instead start asking, well, where can you go then? Back in the 1990s and the early 2000s, this wasn't nearly as much of a problem as the internet was still relatively young, and the global internet community wasn't so concentrated to a select handful of sites. I mean, sure, there were big communities, but they never really got to the mind-bogglingly massive size that they are now. Nowadays, things are different. The internet has grown, and it is not the same as it once was, and we need to realize this. No longer can you just start up a blog and get incredible amounts of viewers in a short amount of time without doing something drastic, or even a long amount of time for that matter. There weren't nearly as many sites back then, so when a site did pop up at that time, it wasn't that hard to get viewers to it, provided you were doing something original. And even if you weren't, it still was not that bad. Even when YouTube was gaining popularity, it wasn't that hard. Ask any old and established YouTuber, and they will say that they got in when it wasn't so hard to get recognized. And now we get to the core of the problem. If, say, Reddit doesn't want me to post my thread, where am I going to post it? Or should I say, where am I going to post it so that it doesn't die a slow and painful death of complete obscurity? If I can't post my video on YouTube, where am I going to post it and get any views at all? The thing is, though, this isn't really YouTube's problem or Reddit's problem or really anyone's responsibility. It's just what it is. But I do want others to recognize that these social monopolies present a large problem nonetheless. When these places become the de facto global communities of the internet, and there's no alternative, you could easily say that these sites can decide what will be heard and what won't be, and they would be perfectly within their rights to decide that. NeoGAF is, or should I say was, a perfect example of this in action. They were a forum that you had to sign up to if you wanted to talk to some developers. But because of that, they then had total control over what is acceptable and what is not. And if you got banned, too bad. There's no other avenue for you to take. And thus, this is why the site of Sanctuary was born. It was meant to be that alternative that was missing for the longest time. A place that does have these hard lines against forbidding others their freedom of speech within reason. A place others can rely on to be fair with its rulings. And that is why a site like Sanctuary is needed. There needs to be some competition with all these sites. A place others can go if they find the rules or moderation of other sites too arbitrary or unfair. Even further, it's a site that's free of any reputation system, which allows discussion and thoughts to flow more loosely and freely than if such a system had been there. Sites like Reddit, Imgur, YouTube, and others are sort of like a walled garden, and if that's what you want, then that's great. But for those that want a more fair and free approach to things, this is where Sanctuary comes in. And that, my friends, is why we exist. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't leave a like or subscribe or whatever. Simply sign up at intosanctuary.com, link in the description, and post on our forums. We'd love to see you there. But whichever you choose, until next time, keep it green.